How is it going? I am back in Fallout 4, and this time I'm going to be building, like I was saying in the previous video, I want to do some like additions onto the house, so this is going to be one of the first ones that I do. So this is actually just on the left side of the house if you're facing the front of the house from like the driveway. The left side of the house where the little pavilion is, like the carport or whatever. I'm going to be adding some floors out on the side out here, and I'm pretty much just going to be building onto that. And so all I'm doing right here is placing some floors down, lining it up with that back room. I deleted some of the walls on that room, um, just so that it would be a little bit easier to make the room more open on the outside of the house. So what I do is use place anywhere to move a floor in on that side over the like garage, and then it lets me snap the next floor in. And on this back end of the house, I have to use place anywhere, and I just knock this off of the house just to get it out of the way. But it's obviously not working, so I just place it a little bit in between a couple of the pieces of wooden floors, so that I can just use place anywhere to pick it up, and then I just place it down, and it's a little bit off, so I just move it a little bit to the left, and then that was in the way, so I moved it out of the way. But as you can see, I've got this nice little outline now for a room on the side of the house that I want to add. And so right here, instead of closing off that front of that house, or the front of this room, to the roof of the house, I just go ahead and add some steps to actually just give people access to the roof. So if we're getting attacked or something, they can walk out there, and maybe I'll add something on that part of the roof so that it's kind of like a walkway, and they can, I don't know, guard from that part of the roof. But I'm not sure if I'll do anything like that. But it does clip through a little bit on the bottom, but it's nothing too bad. So then I go back up here, and I'm looking at the floors because I noticed a little bit of a hole, but I left it. And then I just continue this shack wall and roof around that corner to kind of get it to the edge of the like carport down below us, because that's going to be the main supports for this area. I do add some supports later, but this is pretty much going to be like a rec room. Uh, that's probably the best way to describe it. But it's gonna have like, it's gonna be like a hangout area for all of the people here. There'll be like decorations wise, I end up putting some stuff like couches. Some of the decorated tables and stuff have like checkerboards with like pieces on it. I added those. And then there's a bunch of bookshelves, stuff like that, a bunch of food, and like there's liquor and all sorts of stuff. Got tables for people to eat at if they're just hanging out. Uh, but yeah, it's just supposed to be like a kind of like hangout room, I guess. So I'm gonna call it a rec room, just because that's probably the closest thing that I can think of it being compared to just a room where people can hang out and chill after a long day, or just let off some steam or something like that. There'll be some things they can do in here. And then some like booze and drinks and food and stuff for them too. So I ended up getting rid of one of the floors on the upstairs, and then I just decided I wanted to use this cornered piece because it kind of, as of yet, I've not really used a whole lot of walls, but I never really used this piece, and I figured that it would be okay since, or to get rid of that corner piece, since it's just built off of the house right here. Um, and I do end up adding some supports and stuff to that side as well, and then like a little balcony you guys will see here in a little bit. But Like, that's why I'm adding a doorway. I didn't think I was going to. I thought about adding a window, but then I ended up just going back to the doorway because I thought about it and I was like, a little balcony wouldn't be too bad. So then I just go ahead and add a wall on that side. And then it's just a matter of getting the roofs onto this. So since it's as close as it is to the house, it's not going to actually let me snap the roofs on. It looks like it's letting me snap it to the inside, which is weird, but it's whatever. So I just grabbed the place anywhere tool and I go up there and I start picking up these roofs and I start placing them down. And there'll be a little bit of a jump here in a second where I place this down and then I'm going to pick it up and move it a little bit. And because I realize I moved it into the weirdest spot, and then it's not letting me pick up this roof, which is pretty frustrating because I literally just did. And then the tool disappeared. So, and you can see again, it's just picking up some plywood piece from someplace. But eventually I got it to let me pick it up. I had to move it. Um, but I end up getting the angle right from the inside of the house. It is a little bit to the side a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. It is supposed to look scrappy, so I move this. I can't get it out of the way, so I just move it, or remove it, so that I can pick this up with the Place Anywhere tool. I couldn't reach the Place Anywhere tool from where I was. And then after a little bit of fidgeting, I do get this one in place. And then the last one that I end up placing on this section of roofs, I have face towards me, or towards the other two roofs instead of in the same direction as those two. I just for some reason thought that that would look better than having them all face one direction. I don't know. I just thought that it would. But after I place this down, I only had one more roof to place. But you can see, got it pretty lined up. I get pretty lucky with angles a lot of the time. But I do the same thing over here. I just kind of line it up with the front of this wall. And then I move it back a little bit to kind of just guess how close it is to the front of that doorway on the end. And then I probably could have added a way up onto that doorway. I do add stairs right here, but that's just because I'm using these to get to the Place Anywhere tool. And then also I use it to a couple times to get up there. But right here I just go to the place, or to the scaffolding floors. I grabbed that one. I decided I didn't want it. I wanted that one with all the wooden beams. And then I take that up there and I just line it up with the edge of the doorway. First I'm lining up the top of the wooden boards with the floor of the bottom of the doorway so that there's not like a height difference. And I just kind of line it up to the side of it so that it's not floating like it would regularly, because for some reason scaffolding floors do that. And then to kind of add supports to this side of the house, I don't use this one, I use the taller ones. I just grab two of the taller ones, and I think that I do just pillar glitch this one down, and I tried to place it in, but it's not really letting me, so I just grab my Place Anywhere tool after I moved it down like this, and I just use the Place Anywhere tool to line it up with that, the bottom of the shack wall up there, or the shack end or whatever, I don't even know. And then I do it with the other one as well, so that it kind of looks like there's some supports on this side. Also, I like how it kind of closes off that little garage area. I might do something with that area, I'm not sure. Not sure yet what all I want to do outside of the house. In the house, I think that I'm only going to do like 2 more rooms. I know that I'm going to build on the balcony. I want to do like that's going to be like a guard area or something like that, like sniper nest or something. I've done a lot of sniper's nest, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do this one. Very much different than previous ones. I'll have to come up with something. And then for one of the rooms, I'm going to have like a barracks type of place for the troops that are here, or like the other people in charge, I guess, whatever. And then there's going to be a general's quarters, which is going to be the very top floor, I think, that I'm going to have that in. I do end up adding another support right there on that corner. So this building is a little bit, it's pretty supported, I think. But I don't know why I spent so much time just straightening that up. It didn't have to be that straight. And then on the front, I thought about just posting or putting these two posts on corners, and then I went out to the ball track section, got this one, and I thought about putting it in the middle. It doesn't really reach very well. So I move it in a little bit. Still doesn't reach, so I move it in even farther to the front of the actual like garage, as if this is like new supports for the garage. And I left it there, and then I came back here, added some railings onto the shack, or to the balcony. Add a little half wall in here to like kind of section off that back room where the balcony is, and then it's just a matter of putting on doors onto the rooms and stuff now. So first door, I kind of add a little grated door to kind of leave that area open where the balcony is and stuff, so you don't have to go out on the balcony. Place the door in that little door frame on the right there. And then for this door, I originally had the top of the like door frame for this door down too low, so the door wouldn't actually fit. So what I end up doing right here is just I took it out, and then I just go to put a door in. There's some no snap doors that are added in USO by Andrew CX. And I sit here and mess with a door forever before I finally get it in. And then I just use Place Anywhere to move the half wall here in a second. Yeah, I just move the Place Anywhere tool. Just try to pick up the fence on the window. And then I just move it to where the beam on the bottom of the half wall or balcony railing or whatever is at the top of the door, so that it just looks like it fits in nice. And then here's the finished build. And so as you can see, it just looks like a nice little addition on the front of the house. It doesn't look too actually like odd for the shape of the house. The back kind of does, because it is kind of sticking out and stuff. But for the overall shape of the house, it doesn't look too far-fetched for that to be there, besides like the carport being so open. If that were closed off, it would kind of make a little bit more sense. But it's not too crazy, I don't think. Definitely wasn't anything that was like impossible to build. Place Anywhere was really helpful in building it, but you could use pillar glitches, stuff like that. You don't necessarily have to use pillar glitches either. I was testing out to see if I could just build on there, and the piece that I used is the one that's kind of got the little corner notch missing originally to place it on top of the garage. And I figured that was actually a lot easier to use than what I end up doing with Place Anywhere, because it just let me build it on top of the garage, and it kind of lowered it in a little bit, so everything else snapped to it. But you can see it's kind of just like a party room. There's like a Christmas tree and stuff, like books, magazines, tons of food, booze. There was like a radio over there, and then got some stuff from Makeshift Furniture. Like I said, some books, and then tons of food and more booze and stuff like that. Get the balcony, so there's a nice view. You can see Kingsport Lighthouse from here, actually, which is really cool. I noticed that when I was looking around. There's a nice little view. You got a view over the ocean as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this was a pretty simple build, in my opinion. Decorations are pretty easy. Makeshift furniture and Aslam's workshop decoration pack have definitely made it a lot easier to decorate now, which is awesome. Yeah, it kind of is copping out because I used mostly stuff from that, but they're just really good mods. They make my life so much easier. Decorating is so much easier to do now. I can focus on just building cool structures and stuff. I realize decorations are important. That's why, like with my armory, I did a whole book, like a whole shelf of stuff on my own, and then I show the supports from underneath. But let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see me build here. Um, I'm probably gonna do, like I said, a couple more builds inside the house. Then I'll do a couple things outside. But let me know what you guys would like to see. If you're new here, subscribe. And thank you guys for watching the video. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.